It's an honor to be here, Dr. Randy. Thank you for inviting me. And as an African Haitian American,
Ashe.
it was when I heard the cause, I said, I have to share my African Haitian American boy story. Coming here when I was 5 years old as an African Haitian American. Grew up here in Washington, D.C. Never knew who my father was. Kept asking my mom, who am I? Whose am I? And you know, in the urban setting, who my daddy is. You know, back then, say, who your daddy? And she would run away from that. And I would say, and I have 3 other brothers, I have brothers, sisters. Actually, I'm the second of 13 brothers and sisters. If not 25. There's some that I met, then some still in Haiti. But here, you know, I have a brother and sister here. And when Randy called me, Dr. Randy, I said I would do everything in my powers to get this information out. And some of you in the press know that I send you this information through the Zone Network. And finding out who my daddy is changed my life.
Yes.
It really, finding out not only who he was, to find out that my great-grandfather was a coffee trader, and just to find out, it changed my life. But inside, for years and years, you know, I had the coconut smile. I was always a good kid, always positive. But inside, there was a hurt. There was something dying in me. You would never know it, though. You see a lot of people out committing suicide. You see all these things happen. I was dying inside because I didn't know who my father was. And as I continue to travel the country and as an activist, and I'm in the southern Prince George's County to talk to young black boys who, they don't know who they are. They don't know whose they are, and they definitely don't know who their daddy is. And to encourage them and to talk to them, and sometimes when you think your story, matter of fact, I have a Korean buddy of mine, Douglas Chamberlain, if you don't mind me saying, when I was complaining about knowing my daddy, Korean gentleman, and that's where I got the who my daddy is. He was an Asian guy. He was adopted. He said, what are you complaining about? I have never met my dad. So I had a chance to meet my dad 7 times in my lifetime, travel to Haiti, and, you know, he loved on me as much as he could for a week, and then years later he died. But let me tell you, to know who your father is, parents, I tell you, tell your kids your history. Good, the good, bad, and the ugly. The oogly. Tell them the story. Tell them who their grandfather. Give them the birth dates so they can look it up. And, you know, tell them their story because it changes their lives. Because once they find out who they are and know whose they are, they become a better person, a better society. I mean, it just changes who they are. And I was doing some statistics, and I know I got to go, but you know, you're talking about 70 or 90% of kids.
That's right.
70 and 90 that come from fatherless homes are most likely to be in jail, commit crime. 90 and 70, are you kidding me? And the facts go on and on. Department of Justice, you can Google it, you can look online, and you can check. Just punch in the success rate of kids without fathers, and it'll blow you away. But this was so important because I wouldn't be the person I am now if I didn't know who my daddy was.
That's right. That's right.
So I felt his pain. I'm talking about crying and hurt.
That's right.
And, you know, Randy will tell you, I'm very low-key. I don't come out for a whole lot of stuff. And if you ain't talking something that's going to make a difference in the life of a young boy, I might not be the person you want to call, because I think we all have it in us, especially the young. They owe it, you know, they owe it to themselves to know who they are. Matter of fact, I was at the Black Museum. I'm asking, Randy, if you don't mind me saying here, I want the president of that museum to make sure that every incarcerated, if possible, every jail have a tour bus that would take these kids to this Black National History Museum. So they can know who they are. So they can get a different chance. Right. Dr. Carson, my good friend, is not the only person that can make it once he found out who he was. I'm talking about an angry, at-risk kid, because he didn't know who his daddy was. And it seems like any time it comes to us telling our story, we can't get it out.
Right.
We can find money for everything. Everything has a price tag. But when it comes to African Americans specifically telling their stories. We're muffled. And that's got to change.
It's got to change.
It's got to change. And we need activists. We need, you know, I'm meeting some people for the first time, you know, but that's how I operate. I operate when there's a need, I want to get on the scene. And let's get it done, Randy.
Yes.
It's
We'll get it done
time.
for Danny.
It's time.
We'll get that done. Yes.
It's time because I know the hurt that I had.
It's time. Absolutely.
And I would never be the same if I didn't find out who my father was.
Amen.
And I'm sure, you know, in each one of you here, you'd love to know more about your fathers, more about your dads. You know, there's some of us here that just really need to know more. You know, I have some friends at 60 and 70 years old that I'm doing some research on now, 70 and 80, that is still bitter and angry because they don't know who they are, whose they are, and who their daddy is. Thank you for your time.